Yes, and welcome everyone to this webinar about Aalto University and its master's program in water and environmental engineering, which we call WAT. And this webinar will be recorded. The logic goes so that we are here, two of us. My name is Marko Keskinen, and I'm Associate Professor in Water Resources Management and Policy, and also the Program Director of our master's program.
And hi, my name is Meeri Karvinen. I work as a university teacher, as a substitute university teacher in the program, and I'm also the program coordinator.
Together we will run this webinar and also answer to your possible questions at the end of the webinar. So the contents of the webinar is as follows. I will first present you a little bit about Aalto University generally, what our university is and where we are located and so forth. Then together with Meeri, we will discuss what is actually this WAT program on water and environmental engineering, including its contents and structure, but also discussion about, for example, exchange study possibilities, career opportunities, student life. Then at the end of this presentation or the webinar, there will be admission information, so how you can apply to our program and what it requires as of currently. And then finally, we will finish with possible questions you have over chat. Aalto University, located in Espoo, Finland, is a multidisciplinary community of both thinkers where science and art meet technology and business. That's how we describe ourselves. What it actually means and where such a bold statement comes from is from our background. It's a merger of three leading Finnish universities back in 2010. So we are a young university with over a century of history, stemming back from 1849 when Helsinki University of Technology was formed, and then University of Art and Design Helsinki a bit later, and then Helsinki School of Economics in 1911. So these three old traditional universities coming from the fields of technology, art and design, and economics were merged in 2010 to form what is currently known as Aalto University. Our statement for our students is that at Aalto University you get more than a degree. We are one of the world's top universities and leader in our fields here in Finland. We have a strongly international research and student community. We pay particular attention to our community and a kind of a togetherness of our faculty members and our students. Aalto University is well known for its vibrant startup scene. We have startups shown out the Slush event. Its autumn, for example, was founded by Aalto University students and alumni. And then ultimately, of course, for students, it is important to understand the link to your careers and the kind of diverse career possibilities that our degrees provide you with. We are located in Espoo, in Otaniemi, just close by to Helsinki, which is a Helsinki kind of a metropolitan region. So Espoo is a neighboring city of Helsinki and just next to Helsinki. There we are having really nice research facilities and also other research institutes are located in the same area. The campus is easily reached by metro and bus from downtown Helsinki in 10 minutes. And sustainability and carbon neutrality are at the core of our campus strategy. So that's something that our kind of campus builds on. And as you can see from this aerial view, also we are on the seaside and surrounded by beautiful nature. Something about Aalto generally, we are young universities, and among those we are really highly ranked, but there are some really important recognitions here. So multidisciplinary collaborative research, we are ranking really high, and that's something where we pay particular attention to. In terms of international approach, we are also ranking very high. and also in terms of advancing responsible consumption and production and the link to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Again, that's something that Aalto University pays a particular attention and what we have been also internationally recognized. The kind of link to the sustainability is also very strongly visible in our new living strategy that entered into force at the beginning of 2021. There, the kind of the vision statement is shaping a sustainable future, and this is fully in line with our master's program also, which you will hear more soon. So our strategy has three cross-cutting approaches. So first one is solutions for sustainability, where the aim is really to address the sustainability challenges of our time, to understand them first, but then also have a solution orientation so that we kind of pioneer sustainable solutions in our operations, whether in research or in teaching. The second cross-cutting approach is radical creativity, where the aim is to make most out of the multidisciplinary and multi-sectoral fields at Aalto University, and to encourage both our students and staff to kind of break those boundaries, to find new ways of creative collaboration between different disciplines and fields. And then third, the entrepreneurial mindset links to the kind of really strong initiatives that we have related to entrepreneurship and also the startups culture that I mentioned earlier. If you want to know better what Aalto strategy is about, you can visit our strategy website through the address that is visible in this slide, so strategy.aalto.fi. Then that was a brief introduction to what is a Aalto University and what we are. Then we moved to the actual content of this webinar, which is our master's program on water and environmental engineering. Good. Our master's program is closely connected to water and environmental engineering research group, so-called what research group. You can find more information about our research through the short link provided in this slide. So our research group has three main research areas, and there are actually similarly three related study paths in the master's program. So our master's courses are structured according to these three study paths, thematic study paths that correspond with our three main research areas. So we cover our program is water and environmental engineering, but we focus on water, including its link to the environment. And we cover this from the three themes. So first one is water resources management, hydrology, and environmental hydraulics, where we have a team of two professors, senior university lecturer and staff scientists, working together with the postdocs and doctoral researchers on that field. The second theme and related study paths links then to water and wastewater engineering, where we have two professors currently, Riku Vähälä and Anna Mikola, together with a set of researchers working and a laboratory staff working on water and wastewater engineering related research and education. And then the third research area and related study path is water and development under what we call WDRG, or Water and Development Research Group, where Professor Olivaris, Matti Kummu, myself, and Mary, we are all kind of located under that theme. And there whereas the first two themes are perhaps more traditional in water engineering, including the surface and groundwater management, and then drinking water and wastewater engineering practices. So water and development brings these two themes together and studies them perhaps more from global perspective and also from the development country perspectives. So kind of having a bit more different view in terms of both research and teaching. And in our research group, we have some 60 to 70 people with different backgrounds and expertise. So of course, engineering is at the core of our research group, but there are also people with background, for example, in chemistry, social sciences, even law in our group. So kind of truly multidisciplinary group in that sense as well. Then finally, moving to the actual master's program in water and environmental engineering and what it actually is. So 3 points we want to share with you today with Mary. The first one, the program is made with care and love. The second, the employment opportunities in our field are good and diverse. And the third, that our field is important and its social importance is thus growing due to the kind of sustainability challenges of our time. So these 3 points we will go now together one by Mary.
Thank you, Marco. So what does it mean that the program is made with love and care? We really put effort in developing the program. The first year when it ran in this form was 2016. We wanted the program to be student-centered and focused on learning and not that much on kind of teaching perspective, but what the students really learn from it. And thus we also wanted to provide the students with individual learning paths. So the opportunities for students are wider than in many other programs, and the amount of common courses is lower. We wanted to design the program structure, be really clear, and of course, providing inspiring courses. And according to the feedback we have gained during these years, is that we really have a strong sense of community here, and students have peer support, and our teachers are very easy to approach according to the feedback. So we really put effort on gathering feedback and improving continuously our teaching and all our activities and operations. Then secondly, our employment opportunities are very good and very diverse. So we did an alumni survey in 2017. We gained a very good amount of responses. 50% of our alumni who graduated during the previous 10 years actually responded to the survey. And we found that the graduates are employed to private sectors, so to companies, especially as consultants, also to public sector, to municipalities and other, as well as research institutes, such as Aalto University, or also like Finnish Environment Center or such. Employment situation is also really good. And Aalto University is in this field the leading university in Finland. Knowing Finnish is also, of course, an asset, because many of our students get employed to the public sector where you need to be able to communicate in our language, but also our international students find good job opportunities, for example, in international consultant companies and research institutes where language many times is English. And the importance of the field, of course, our main aim is to ensure a sustainable and functioning society. That's kind of our slogan. And sustainability is increasingly important cross-cutter in everything we do. So our field really aims to ensure like how the society functions and how can we move towards better levels of sustainability. Okay, then to the contents of our program. So we offer very strong technical basis combined with sound understanding of broader societal context and sustainability as said, cross-cutting theme. So if we take a look at the core of this donut, water and environmental can be seen as the content of our field. And in more detail, it's about global resources, water resources and hydrology, environmental hydraulics, and water and wastewater. So kind of knowledge related to these key content areas. And then the sound, a strong technical basis of engineering. The key methods we teach are, for example, statistical analysis, of course, laboratory analysis. We have our own Flume laboratory, and modeling, spatial analysis, and so forth. And other than sustainability, other broader contexts that are really important are entrepreneurship and business, governance and legislation relating to this field. Of course, project and planning skills that are very necessary while being employed in the field. Group work skills is something that our employers and stakeholders really emphasize, and multi and interdisciplinarity, which Marco already said that it's already here in our staff members' backgrounds and of course in our students' backgrounds. You maybe future students come from many different fields. So how have we structured the program? So I mentioned that the level of opportunities is quite high. So we only have 15 credits of common courses, and that is actually one course that is taken in the very first period of our master studies. And then after this first 15 credits course, students can choose between these 3 study tracks, which are here in the blue. So the water resources, water and development, and water and wastewater tracks. And students are really free to select whatever combination of courses they want from these 3 tracks. So this enables to have a very personal study path. And we also, of course, offer a strong support to plan these studies, because it's not always that easy to know what courses to take. So we have portfolio process and academic mentoring, which means that outside courses, you are all the time writing your personal learning portfolio about what you have learned from the previous courses, what were kind of the most interesting things and what maybe not that interesting, and all the time reflecting on where to go next and how does the career path may look like. And you will have your own academic mentor from our teaching staff, and you will meet the mentor twice a year, and the students can discuss on these burning issues going on in their studies.
Yeah, and this is a nice. We are quite small research group with 6 to 7 professors, and then the amount of students is quite nicely also. So we have quite personal touch perhaps in terms of mentoring as well. Perhaps just to clarify regarding the courses, that of course this boxes now is our major course, which is the 60 credits, and then as is mentioned there in the middle, we will strengthen. Then you have another 60 credits available. So altogether the program is 120 credits, and out of those other 60 credits, 30 credits is elective courses that you are basically free to choose yourself from kind of a relevant studies you wish to take to complement your expertise and competence. And then there is finally 30 credit of master's thesis that kind of synthesizes your learning and creates a unique specialization for yourself. Should I continue maybe this slide? So just to clarify, we are at the School of Engineering at Aalto University, and we are a master's program in water and environmental engineering. So we do expect you to have a certain level of mathematical expertise or kind of computational expertise. But it's important to realize that you don't have to be an engineer. You don't have to have an engineering degree to apply to our program. But actually, we very much encourage and welcome students with differing backgrounds to our program. And these learning paths that we described earlier from along these three study paths or study tracks enable you to make a kind of a study combination or course combination you wish yourself to have. And this also means that we have quite diverse students in our program, and we emphasize learning with and from your peers as well. And if you're interested in to understand the kind of the basic computational methods included in our program, there is a specific computational methods page in our My Courses, which is Aalto University kind of a course portal website. So the address is visible there in the slide. You can visit that site and see more on those computational methods to understand what we expect in terms of them. And then maybe about the program structure, just briefly about this 2 years. So first year is the 60 credit major, including that common course in the first period in autumn, and then in the second, third, fourth, and fifth period during the autumn and spring, you will do your advanced courses from the selection of courses that we have. And the timetable of the courses stays more or less the same throughout the year, which makes your time management easier. And then we have planned the second year so that you basically take, typically in autumn, you take most or all of your elective courses and then start to do your master's thesis in the spring term of the second year. And this also means that you can do your elective courses actually outside Aalto in other Finnish universities or other universities internationally. So it kind of enables an easy way to combine your student exchange into your studies here at Aalto. And about the exchange possibilities, first to note that we have very active international research collaborations. So there are several different universities in Europe and in Asia, especially, and in North America, with whom we collaborate with. But our research kind of covers also Africa, Latin America, so basically all key continents. And then we have exchange contracts, which makes it easier for you to find exchange destinations, and there is a list of recent destinations from DTU in Denmark and NTNU from Norway to National University of Singapore, from Delft to Netherlands, universities in China, Japan, elsewhere, has been the kind of the exchange destinations of our students. So there is a nice exchange services at Aalto University, and it is relatively easy to find a really nice exchange destination that kind of complements also course-wise your own competencies and study plans. And generally, we encourage our students to leave Aalto for exchange, but of course to come back with new expertise and perspectives to finalize your studies and your degree. And then about one example of a student project that has this international dimension. We have under this water and development study path, we have this Sustainable Global Technology Studio course, which is a 10 credit course running the entire spring term. It has been ongoing for already over a decade. And here we have these problem-based learnings or BBL-based student-led projects. And one of the examples here is from East Africa. So in Uganda, the kind of the students together with interdisciplinary study teams, student teams from different schools of Aalto. So all different schools. So the kind of engineering-oriented schools, business-oriented, and arts and design-oriented schools, together with local partners, engage in kind of collaborative planning, where they include, for example, formal education and community engagement in these kind of water-related challenges. and their aim is to find a long-term vision for improved water solution and also private spaces. And there is kind of multiple themes included in that student project. So it's not only about actually learning about those processes, but seeing it broader as a kind of a sustainability challenge, understand the impact of lifelong learning and the sharing of culture on multiple different levels. And if you're interested in this to know more about this SGT courses, so there is a specific website, sgt.aalto.fi there, or is it sgtprogram.aalto.fi there, where you can find more information about their courses. Maybe Mary, you can continue.
Yes, I posted the SGT link to the chat. So as said, just a few slides before, our career opportunities are quite diverse. Majority of our alumni work as experts and consultants with different sectors and very many employees. So you have the opportunity to work in any sector of the society in Finland and also internationally. So as we have these international student projects, it's kind of facilitates also the creation of the networks, which is quite important if you are interested in an international career. So we really encourage in reflecting on your career from the very beginning of master studies. So as the students come with diverse backgrounds, the career paths are, of course, naturally quite diverse too. And when you have the freedom to select any of the advanced courses you wish, you can yourself kind of all the time build your own professional identity. And to support you in this, we have this portfolio process I mentioned and mentoring, and also your peer students. So what we actually didn't mention is that in the very beginning of our master studies, all the students get their own peer groups, and we encourage the peer groups in meeting after each study period to reflect on their learnings and careers and their thoughts about the program and career paths. And yeah, about student life in general. So of course, studying is intensive, but as you have the peer groups from the very beginning, you get to know your peer students, and that makes it easier to kind of integrate into the general student life. So our Otaniemi campus is very nice and green, located in the shoreline, and we also have very beautiful nature and architecture here. Very good services nowadays. The metro line comes straight from Helsinki city center to Otaniemi campus. And we have here many restaurants, nice cafes, sports services, and a shopping center. Our campus aims at being energy self-sufficient by 2030. So sustainability is not present only in our teaching, but also in all our campus operations. We have here also our own urban gardening plots, so that if you are interested in having one, that's possible. And as mentioned, Helsinki city center is only 10 minutes by metro, and also the nature reserve Nuuksio is only 30 minutes by bus. And actually, right next to our campus area, there is this Natura nature reserve area too. And of course, the environment overall is very international and multidisciplinary, as we are the merger of 6 different schools including business, architecture, and many different fields of engineering and arts, of course. We have our own student association in water and environmental engineering field. That's called AQUA. AQUA is quite active and organizes excursions to companies in Finland and also abroad, if there are no pandemic situations. We also have joint events with AQUA and our staff members, and many friendship and very important networks are built through attending the AQUA activities.
Yes, so that was all about our master's program and its content structure and different kind of career opportunities. Now, finally, before moving to possible questions, something generally about the admission into our program. So first of all, the important information is, of course, to check the kind of the status of the admission information from the web. So Aalto has this admission services website, and then our master's program has its own admission website, aalto.fi-wat, so WAT there. The application period for master's programs is once a year, and the information on admission requirements comes next. So first of all, it's important to understand that we get quite a lot of applicants to our program, and our student selection process for our program is competitive and paper-based, which means that we use different criteria to evaluate the students that apply, and then we rank them based on the kind of based on the values they get for these 5 criteria. And those 5 criteria is academic performance of the degree you're applying to our program. So your bachelor kind of background degree from the bachelor levels. So essentially your average grade from your studies. The relevance of your previous studies is the second criteria, meaning that we judge how relevant your background studies has been to be able to study in our particular program in water and environmental engineering. Remembering that we do appreciate the diversity of the kind of backgrounds that our students have. So we are not looking just for some particular background, or your background doesn't need to be just from our field, but it can be from diversity of relevant fields. Then comes the recognition and quality of the institution you gain your earlier degree. So at which level your home institute is from. And then comes 2 kind of more specific personal criteria. So suitability for the program, where we evaluate the applicability of the candidate to the study option, your motivation and commitment for studies that is visible from your motivation letter and application, and then other areas of competence, which allows us to also take into account the other possible expertise and experience you have outside your own degree. So, for example, work experience, other expertise, as well as other relevant achievements. So together through these 5 criteria, we then have the selection process, which is then kind of a paper-based and competitive. And for more information on those criteria and their definitions and required study documents, you can see our admission website, so aalto.fi-wat. So what? Finally, something about Finland, the country northern country we are located in. Safe, relaxed, equal, organized society, has a world-famous education system from primary school to secondary school to high school and university. We have been several times ranked as a happiest country in the world. We are also, while living in northern Finland, we are international, and almost all Finns speak English. So you can conduct your normal daily life and study and even work in Finland completely in English. As mentioned earlier, in our field, if you want to work in Finland, knowledge of at least some Finnish is an asset because of the quite important role that the public sector obviously plays in water and in environmental engineering field. And as a society, we are low hierarchy society with high livability. So quite easygoing, nice atmosphere to live in. And if you want to find more information generally about studying in Finland, there is a specific website for that as well. So I hope that all has introduced you at least to the basics of our master's program at Aalto University. This was all about this presentation. After this presentation, you can ask questions in chat, or if you want to later on ask information, so you can send information about admissions and applications related questions to admissions@aalto.fi, and questions regarding our specific what master program we have our planning officer Päivi Kauppinen, to whom you can send your email on aspects specific to our master's program. But thank you and see you soon at Aalto University. And if there is any questions now available in chat, I also realized that we have maybe, at least I sent something, yeah. So there are in the chat, there are some questions about possible chances to waive off some of the course fees. So there are certain tuition fees for students coming outside the European Union and the European Economic Area, and for that information you should check out the admission services website that was posted, link to the website. And we do have, like I mentioned here, that the current tuition fee for master's program coming outside the EU or this EEA area is shown here, but it's also possible to apply for this Aalto University scholarships, and similarly to those applicants that we rank. So that ranking is also used to grant those scholarships. So those students who ranked highest in our evaluation process will be offered also a scholarship, which then covers fully or partly the tuition fee that we currently have for the master's program. And this holds for all master's program at Aalto. And here also for this year's application period, just a reminder that the application period starts at the beginning of December this year and finishes just after the new year. So better to apply before New Year rather than after. But if I don't see any more questions, I think we can say thank you and close this session.
Yes, thank you.